their independence fully. As in all citizens who lived in the country were actually considered free in their own. Of course, Texas was the last state to sign that independence, but that is a representation on June 19th of that year. I forgot the year. Sorry, I don't want to mess it up, but on that year, which symbolized that everybody who was American was free. So this is a celebration, especially in the African American community, of being citizens here who were birthed here and given that right. So we want to celebrate what we feel is Independence Day for every American.
Okay. So it's to signify that this particular day, Black Americans were actually free from slavery, but it wasn't acknowledged by the Texas administration. It is Douglasville, Junetee Day, Church Street, Farmers Market here. It's quite a celebration here. Farmers Market here. Douglasville. Douglasville is one of those places that never know they come alive, man. It's alive today. Douglasville is alive, man. Not sure what's going on, but it's quite a beautiful place to be. Douglasville. Wow. How you doing? Happy Father's Day, thank you. So what is this celebration about? What is it about? Freedom Day for what? For who? Okay. So you from Texas?
No, yeah, from Texas.
Oh, born and raised. So you're indigenous. All right, gotcha. Junetee Day here. Election. Junetee Day here in Douglasville, Georgia. It's Junetee Day. Yeah. A good friend of mine, he goes way back from the island of St. Thomas. We grew up together. He went to the post office. He was a close friend of my brother's too. And he went in the Army, I went in the Navy. And today I'm happy to see him. So he's just an interesting figure. So he was one of the first brothers to actually got out of the pack and went and purchased a house in the Virgin Islands as far as young adults. We was inspired by him. So later on we went back to a home in the Virgin Islands, we also want to be inspired and do the same thing. Some of us did it in certain different locality. My other brothers, he did it in Jacksonville, Florida. They did it in D.C. They did it in Atlanta, Georgia. But the concept is that being inspired, meaning that you want to emulate or you want to be as I shouldn't use the word aggressive, but the word as participating in the growth of this democracy we call free enterprise. So we stepped out and we pursue our education. We each one of us went in different discipline. I went into the engineering aspects. My brother went into the maintenance area. The other one, both of them went into the maintenance area. But anyway, that's not what the story about is. That being inspired make us become better. And becoming better means you participate and accomplish your goal, education, your work, and whatever you set out to do. So today is one of those things that I'm emphasizing on as Mr. Melchior. Mr. Melchior, it's a pleasure to use you as an example today to let us, while surfing the different state. His name is Mr. Gustav. Mr. Gustav came from Alabama, and coming from Alabama to a state of Georgia was a significant change to him. So as I question him and move around with him, he began to explain to me the different aspects of the environment in which I find myself. You see, in his mind, Alabama was actually founded by the possession of the Native American land, primarily the Cherokee and the Muscogee land that was donated to the settlers after Andrew Jackson in 1837, and the forced removal of the Indians. All of these states from Carolinas all the way down to Florida, especially Florida and Georgia, were the recipient of those free lands. So, and the thing about it is to find out the inception of why people behave the way they behave in different environments. And what's interesting about it today, I found out that the reason why people behave the way they behave in these different southern states and in different environments, because they was granted a certain position. In other words, a position means that they was projected to be privilege. Privilege means that certain aspects of free land was given to them by the government, and the reason why it was given to them, it was now supposed to become farmers and produce commodity to sell back to the environment, export that product to other parts of the world. And only way they can do that because there was had a how should I put a numbered amount of people among them. In other words, so the government encouraged them, or they encouraged themselves to go and capture some brothers from Africa. And by bringing these brothers from Africa, the government sanctioned that commodity to have them work for free. And when they work for free, in reality, the businessman is not paying any personal service. So he's making 100% profit by having his free labor. So what happened, that money trickled down back to the environment in which he finds himself in. So the money allowed the citizen in that who was privileged to have a better life. In other words, they could have the finest clothes, and it also extended back to their mother country where they came from. So all this raw material was packaged and sent back to most of the European countries, and the European countries in turn sent back the refined material that will be purchased by the new settlers. So not only food, but clothing. So that's why when you have someone from a southern country, a southern state will say, or maybe European, say they have this notion of say, I pull myself up by my bootstrap, which means I start from nothing. But in reality, that's not true because a person received after sovereignty of indentured servant for 7 years, they received 100 acre, and 100 acre allowed them to prosper. And those who was not indentured servant, they received thousands and thousands of acre that it was able to hand down to their offspring. So that's give them a up on all the rest of the people. In the meantime, the person who was working for free, he or she didn't receive any of those free assets. So even though he worked to help to develop that industry or make that country better, he lived and died as a pauper. And when he himself was actually emancipated in 1800 after doing the Civil War in America, he wasn't even able to go out and purchase a piece of property, even though they came with this notion talking about 40 acres and a mule by the government. The 40 acres and a mule that was so-called granted was stolen from him in later years. If the government wanted a piece of land to actually put a courthouse, they will actually go back to the community and find out where that African American reside, and they will actually take his land by eminent domain or put him in jail, and if he cannot pay the tax, that's when one of those citizen businessmen will go and purchase that land from the government and put whatever they want in that piece of property, making them more attractive or more elevated in society. So that's what my good friend was able to explain to me what transpired in the American society. But one of the things that puzzled me is that the concept of Christianity that was actually coined way back during the crusade with Paul and different people like that. Christ's message was resonated, but his message was resonated, but the implementation of his message was not actually implemented in these countries, because there was a total opposite of what Christ was saying. So and the evil in which they possess in the mind and do things was contrary to what Christ was talking about. So that whole practice that they used during that those centuries to project themselves as privileged, it was actually devastating, because that concept is still prevalent today, because within the enclave of those society, they have the yearning to go back to when African American was not free, and in order to say that they're superior, they actually prohibit them from participating in certain things. So once African American was allowed to do certain things, it became competitive, and competition scared a certain segment of a society. So by scaring them, because it scared them because they was living in a false notion that it was superior, but in reality it was not superior. There was actually people who had up and everyone else and had an open field to pursue the dream. So once you have open field to pursue your dream in an open society, you can progress or not progress. And once you see other people progressing and you was projecting a lie, then you become fearful, and now you want to put that person back in the century that when he couldn't participate. So that's what's unique about the society. But I always tell people this: when God Himself make a move, no man can prevent it from going back in a direction. No matter what laws are put in place, my Heavenly Father always pursue His goal. So today there is a whole lot of social war taking place, political, hoping that that people can go back to the 19th.
Boldly taking up space within country music. This next singer has served as a reminder of the influence Black people have had and continue to have across all musical genres. Last year, she became the first Black woman to host the Academy of Country Music Awards and started this year singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Tonight, she's blessing us with her phenomenal talent. It is my pleasure to introduce Mickey Guyton.
How y'all doing my friends? Happy JUNTEE. Mother, there's too many of you. Oh, brother, there's far too many of you. Don't you know? To bring some love and healing, pick your lines, pick your signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me, 'cause you can see what's going on, and what's going on. Tell me what's going on, what's going on. We got all we got. Over here. Everybody's real. Oh, but who will they judge us? Simply 'cause our hair is long. Oh, we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picking lies, picking signs, punish me with brutality. Oh, come talk to me, because you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Tell me what's going on, yeah, I need to know what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Help me understand what's going on, help me understand what's going on. If I wrote this song, I sing country music. And I wrote this song about being Black like me. Little kid in a small town. I do my best just to fit in. Broke my heart on the playground. When they said I was different. Oh, now I'm all grown up.
Just step here.
It's still the same. It's so hard.
That's not him.
Just to live that good life. Should be twice
He
that
told me he was going home.
Huh?
He told me he was going home.
now I'm all grown
Wanna
up,
sleep?
nothing has changed. It's still the same. It's a life of an easy street. Just like painting beauty faces for you. If you think we live in the land of the free, you should try to move your way.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Say influence for life.
I'm gonna text her and tell her I don't think he's home.
Then you want to work when he get
Oh,
called.
he didn't go to work.
Just walk plainly, pick your fences, far as you can see. And if you think we live in the
The second, the action of briskly stirring or disturbing something. And the third, the action of arousing public concern about an issue and pressing for action on it. I wrote a poem, and it's called Agitation, definition number 3. Ooh, it's Juneteenth. My freedoms are afforded to me. So freedom is what I will hunt, and freedom is what I will speak. My frustrations are overwhelming now. My giving hand has become a stranger to me. I'm increasingly numb to just shouting, hands high in the place to be. Pass the plate, children. Pass the plate, elders. Pass the plate most regularly. Pastor, Pastor, can you pretty please pass the plate to me? Can I get a ride to my job in your Mercedes? Ain't it you who's supposed to be guiding the sheep? I can't breathe and I can barely sleep. They shooting. Can't you hear the sirens sing? Can't you see the blood on the streets? Gun laws barely budge at all. Ain't you gonna rally the peeps? Ain't you gonna send the babies free to an HBC for their law degree? Can you TITHE for me? Agitation, definition number 3. We keep giving you money. Where's the change systemically? You collect so many things, but justice keeps eluding. You're making me weak. Agitation, definition number 3. This is a critique. Agitation, definition number 3. This is a call for all y'all. Seems like you're in cahoots to me. Strategy, action. Walk into who you claim you be and lead. Agitation, definition number 3. Lead. Agitation, definition number 3. Lead. Lead.
Lead. She's a singer too, right?
When we come back, an unforgettable performance from the ever-fabulous Billy Porter. Velvet and DeVoe are sure to get you up out of your seats.
Oh, he's
And
gay.
later, the legendary
He came out in the early
Wind and
80s.
Fire take the stage. It's Juneteenth, a global celebration for freedom.
One of those confused children.
Juneteenth, a global celebration.
Okay.
not gonna hold me down because it's over. Now I have to put you back in the line. I'm gonna put you on rewind because it's over.
We will return with the emerge. Notable entrepreneur Maggie L. Walker became the first black woman founder and president of St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, one of the oldest African-American run banks in U.S. history. Today, the black dollar is stronger than ever. With global support of black entrepreneurs and artists, cultural leaders are creating new opportunities for black people to build wealth and legacy. Through the company On Our Own, David Gross and D Smoke have partnered to keep Broadway Boxing Gym a black-owned business in South LA.
I think Broadway Boxing Gym represents an entirely different type of wealth. It's experiential wealth.
He was just
it's
under
a wealth
doing
of
some
culture
singing.
and the people who have
He was just
grown
under a
up
minute
both,
of doing some
you know,
singing.
over time, but
He was
also
the guy who was
personally
singing,
have grown and matured in that space. I
The
think it's
guy who was
something
rapping and you
deserving.
said,
Oh, that's it?
As a business concept.
and you
we've
said, I
built
don't
an investment
understand what the
platform
guy
that
was
will allow
saying. The
crowdfunding
guy was
investment
rapping
from
and he was
mom-and-pop
doing
investors,
singing in the back.
to invest in great ideas in black communities and specifically focused on investment in black communities by black people.
The partnership with David Gross and On Our Own at
We
Broadway
need our own
Boxing
army.
Gym is a huge part
Urban
of
army.
creating a space for people to grow.
For us to buy the gym, we first had to take it out of
Like how the
default.
Jewish
The
people
bank
got
wasn't
their
taking
own
it out.
urban army.
So as buyers, we stepped in,
Chinese.
we put up money to take the seller
You don't hear
out
about
of
it, but
default
they
so
do
they
have
wouldn't
one.
lose it.
To
Hispanic
introduce
have
this
one.
idea to the community of where wealth starts and how it's built and sustained.
There's a lot of optimism and hope right now, and that the change that we always wanted to see and the things that we want for the
See
future
how they got that
are being
business?
made
They
by
bought
people
somebody
right
out.
now.
in music and in art, and as well as modeling that in some of the efforts that we're making in the community. I think that'll be just my small contribution to our culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Leslie Jones.
Oh, you know who she is, right? She's a comedian, right? They said it was the, she used to play, did she play in Ghostbusters?
No, so this next group that I'm bringing up, I love them since they came out. I'm
That's what
telling
it
you.
is. I saw
Now,
her the other day.
I'm not saying they're the reason that I got bad knees, but I was smacking it up, really down. Wow! And let me tell you, I knew I was gonna marry Ronnie DeVoe. I knew I was gonna be Mrs. Ronnie DeVoe. But everybody knew that I was poison. That's why I didn't work it out. But tonight, I get to bring them up and I present to you live on stage. It's the iconic
Get some old school rhythm to it. I want to hear what's Bobby Brown. That's how Bobby Brown used to do his thing. You know Bobby Brown, right? The new edition. That's how Bobby Brown should sing and dance. The new edition.
That girl is poison.
Yeah, that's how Bobby Brown sings. But he had a fat
Yeah, I
head.
really listen to this stuff.
If I were you, I'd take precaution. Get up. Let's make some caution. You know what I said? Makes you the best thing. The whole wide world.
That's how that Bobby Brown should do. New edition.
I'm over here thinking sweet.
That's the best thing I had so far, right? Huh?
Did you knock the doors downstairs?
I didn't go out.
Hands in the air. Side to side. All this hell. Move your head. Yeah.
We'll return with a special Juneteenth message from President Joe Biden. And Neo takes the stage. And later, we lift our voices with Mary Mary, Michelle Williams, and Anthony Hamilton. It's Juneteenth, a global celebration for freedom.
Juneteenth, a global celebration for freedom, is brought to you by Pfizer.
College Park District here. Park right here. City of College Park, Main Street. I'm not sure how you get from here but this is College Park, Main Street. It's called College Park, Main Street.
When we did the S and W, we do opportunity.
College Park, Main Street, I'm looking at. College Park, Main Street. Special about today besides our voting?
Kids graduating.
Oh, today's graduation.
Graduation for the next 3 days. Yep.
Oh, so that's why people all dress up. Oh, cause I saw it's like a special day today. I was wondering why everybody out here in the street and stuff like that. So that's what it is. Kids graduate. Work here.
I don't know if there's anything really significant other than the fact that it's in the capital of the airport.
Yeah.
Which makes it like a perfect. Main Street is like a perfect setup.
Okay.
For what you see, this is kind of new.
Yeah.
All of these businesses here in the last 2 years.
Okay.
So the College Park downtown is changing.
Powder Spring Fish Fest. Today is not as dense as it was yesterday. Yesterday was nice and really heavy participated. Today is it's not as much. Can't get enough. So many of them here in this place here called Powder Springs, Georgia. So many beautiful people coming through this place. Can't get enough of it. Oh yeah.